Hidden behind a false wall, accessed through a narrow crawl space, lay a secret room packed with weapons. 463 illegal firearms, 200,000 rounds of ammunition, rifles, machine guns, and even an anti-tank missile. The man who built this hidden armory wasn't a gang leader or terrorist. He was James Arnold, a parish council chairman and crane operator described by neighbours as polite, private, and community-minded. This is the story of Britain's largest ever firearms haul, how it was discovered, what it revealed about the double life of a village councillor and the dealer who was finally brought to justice. If you're into UK true crime and hidden cases like this, hit subscribe. We cover real raids, court outcomes, and extraordinary discoveries every day. April 13th, 2014. Police were called to Arnold's home in Wiverston, Suffolk, after reports of a domestic violence incident. Arnold already held a firearms certificate for 17 legally owned weapons. Officers planned to revoke the license to prevent the guns being used during the dispute. But when they arrived, they spotted something unusual. Illegal weapons were scattered openly on the living room floor. Alarmed, officers began a deeper search. And soon they noticed something else. The internal layout of the house didn't match its external footprint. Rooms were smaller than they should be. Walls didn't line up. Investigators suspected a hidden space. Behind the pantry, concealed by a false wall, they found a safe. Beyond it, a narrow crawl tunnel. And through that tunnel, a secret room, crammed wall to wall with weapons. Over the next 27 days, officers and bomb disposal experts worked methodically. They feared the house might be booby-trapped, so every step had to be cautious. What they uncovered was unprecedented: 463 firearms, from pistols to assault rifles, machine guns capable of automatic fire, 200,000 rounds of ammunition boxed and labelled, explosives and bomb-making material, an anti-tank missile. Suffolk police later compared it to an armoury capable of arming 9 coachloads of terrorists. To give perspective, one of the largest previous hauls in Britain had been 31 rifles and 1,000 rounds. Arnold had 15 times more guns and 200 times more ammunition. The sheer scale stunned even experts. Martin Parker, lead forensic scientist at the National Ballistics Intelligence Service, described it as unprecedented. We're seeing weapons here, assault rifles, submachine guns, that you just don't see in the UK. Who was the man behind this collection? James Arnold, 49, crane operator, husband, father, and parish council chairman. Outwardly respectable, he helped run the village hall, attended council meetings, and was a familiar figure in the community. But neighbours described him as private, hard to know, and obsessive about collecting. He gathered odd objects around his property and even built a makeshift firing range behind his house, using railway sleepers to enclose the field. Arnold had held a firearms license since 1984, was a member of local shooting clubs, and had a lifelong interest in weapons. When questioned, he gave no comment. Later, he told officers vaguely that he was keeping people safe by looking after the weapons. But he never explained how he acquired them or why. Detectives found no evidence of terrorist links and no organised criminal motive. The best explanation: he was a compulsive collector, treating guns the way others collect stamps or coins. But his hobby left behind a terrifying arsenal. Tragically, Arnold never faced trial. Just 3 months after his arrest, he died of pancreatic cancer. While Arnold died before prosecution, police traced several weapons back to a supplier, Anthony Buckland, 65, a Norfolk-based firearms dealer and gunsmith. Buckland was found to have supplied at least 16 of the firearms in Arnold's collection. He claimed some had been legally converted, or that he believed they were no longer prohibited. At Norwich Crown Court, he was convicted of 11 counts of selling a prohibited weapon and 9 counts of fraud. Judge Stephen Holt told him, "When the police searched Jim Arnold's home, they found a vast collection in a secret room. But you are to be sentenced for what the jury convicted you of, not Arnold's entire cash. In your profession, trust was placed in you, and you abused that trust." Buckland, described as frail and suffering serious health problems, shook uncontrollably as the judge sentenced him to 6 years in prison. His lawyer described him as an utterly broken man, financially ruined, disgraced, and banned for life from handling firearms. To show the public the scale, Suffolk police did something unusual. They laid out the weapons in their armoury at Martlesham and invited journalists inside. Rows of shelving stacked high, rifles, pistols, and machine guns meticulously labelled, boxes upon boxes of ammunition, even an anti-tank weapon on display. Reporters described it as surreal, seeing hundreds of deadly weapons in a single room, amassed not by a gang or terrorist group, but by a parish councillor in a Suffolk village. Chief Superintendent David Skevington said, "Arnold never offered an explanation. We found no criminal or terrorist motive. The best explanation is that he collected weapons the way some people collect stamps. But had they fallen into the wrong hands, the consequences would have been catastrophic." The case of James Arnold and Anthony Buckland is both bizarre and chilling. A man in a quiet village built the largest illegal armoury ever discovered in Britain. Hundreds of guns, explosives, and 200,000 rounds of ammunition. He claimed he was keeping people safe, but the risk to the community was extraordinary. And while Arnold escaped trial through death, Buckland's conviction showed that those who supply such weapons will face justice. It's a reminder that sometimes the biggest threats are hidden in plain sight, behind false walls, secret rooms, and the double lives of seemingly respectable men. That's the case of Britain's biggest ever firearms hoard. 463 guns, an anti-tank missile, and enough ammunition to fill a warehouse hidden by a parish councillor in rural Suffolk. If you found this case fascinating, hit subscribe, and check out our video on Victor Sibthorpe in Manchester, where police digging in a garden uncovered 4 viable firearms wrapped in bin bags. From small caches to unprecedented arsenals, these cases show how deeply hidden weapons can be across the UK. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.